Hello and welcome to the Forgotten Generation podcast with your host Troy, where we talk to amazing guests who are young people on their voice to empower the community around them locally and nationally and to inspire others to have a voice. So today we are joined by a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. Thanks for having me, Troy. So I'm Eden. I'm 20. I'm from Belfast, Northern Ireland, and I'm an IWell ambassador and social activist.
That's great. Lovely to meet you, Eden. And so, what is your social action?
Yeah, so my social action is quite varied, but it's mostly around like mental health and well-being and also like physical health. And how I started was related to anti-bullying, but I'll talk a bit more about that later on.
And that's great. And is there any part of organisations you're a part of that has helped you with your social action journey?
Yeah, so when I started my social action, I joined NCB and I was on their Northern Ireland anti-bullying forum. So that's how I kind of got started. And then from there, I've been involved with loads of different charities. So the mix around like mental health. I've also been working with Action for Children, kids, long COVID kids and long COVID support. And yeah, that's the kind of main ones.
And that's amazing. And so you actually touched on long COVID. And what is your long COVID? Do you know?
Yeah, so I've had long COVID for around 2 years. When I was doing my A-level exams in school, I got quite unwell and then wasn't able to go to university and kind of had to kind of take a step back from things. Um, and then I decided to get more involved in my local community and doing more like different volunteering and stuff to kind of distract myself. And then I went back to university in September last year and then got quite unwell again. I got reinfected with COVID. So it kind of affects me daily, with the fatigue and like the memory, and I get quite a lot of pain. So I then decided that I wanted to get even more involved, so I joined even more different organisations like Youth Employment UK, and I also really wanted to support people who had long COVID and like kind of advocate for myself and others who had that. So I joined the long COVID charities, long COVID kids and long COVID support, and it's been really great and their support has been really, really helpful.
Wow. And so empowering. Because I think it's such a like such actually on a journey you have gone through over this long COVID and the journey you wanted to make a difference to the organisations that you're part of. And so was it like a barrier you actually had to face?
Yeah, so I mean, I think I still do face some barriers because I'm not always able to do the things that I kind of want to do with regards to my social action and just obviously my personal life as well with my health condition. But I think that I have had to kind of learn how to say no and kind of just prioritize my own health. And I think that can be really difficult sometimes to kind of just say no and kind of think, right, okay, I'm doing too much. I need to just rest, and like your health comes first. And like there'll always be social action projects to get involved in. So that's kind of been a barrier for me, my physical health. I think also sometimes opportunities aren't the most accessible for young people, especially those who have like disabilities or like health conditions. There's quite a lot of London centric opportunities, and I feel like maybe there should be more opportunities in different areas. Like here in Northern Ireland, we're starting to get better with opportunities, and like they're starting to build a more activist community. But I know a few years ago there wasn't really anything to get involved in.
And that's understandable. And so you actually wanting to make more opportunities more accessible for young people to have a voice like and to have a say on issues. And so
Yeah.
is that what you think the issues are for young people that are facing?
I think the cost of living crisis is a big one. I also think that the opportunities for young people to like get involved in their local communities and also like to get like work experience, I think is really, really difficult. And during COVID, that was non-existent, and I think it hasn't kind of returned to that same level as it was before. And young people are like not sure where they want to go, like career-wise, or what subject they want to study at university. I know I had problems trying to realize what I actually really wanted to do. And I think mental health is really a big one as well. And also, which isn't often talked about, the link between physical health and mental health. But I think a lot of young people are really needing support and the support's not really there and accessible for them.
Okay. On touched on about work experiences for young people. So, what do you think the government or professionals need to do in order to make sure that it's more accessible for young people to gain work experience and gain employment opportunities?
I think that the schools and like colleges and universities should link in with more different employers, because I feel like sometimes the options are quite limited. And I feel like they should also really talk to the young people and see what kind of support they need and like what support systems they want in place. If they like have like access needs or access requirements or anything like that, they should like speak to them beforehand and like kind of maybe if they're quite nervous, like maybe they could have an induction and go and see the building or the area that they're going to be working in, like meet some of the people, just to like reassure them. I also think that there should be like a mentor scheme for new people starting out, especially young people, because I think that can help like reduce anxiety as well.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree because I think it was so important that they do that. And so, what are the other issues that you think needs to be the priority for the government to listen to us young people about?
I think that the government needs to listen to what young people have to say in regards to like opportunities for engagement and like opportunities for them to have their voice. I think there needs to be more, especially for the 16 to 25 age bracket. I feel like sometimes that often gets kind of left out because people are going into like young adulthood, but that is probably the bracket where they want to like make change the most because they're seeing things happening in like universities and colleges and schools and they've been through the education system. So I think it's really important that the government like are able to like include people and make sure that young people get their voices heard. And I also think that they could do this by the votes at 16 legislation as well. And also more access to like mental health support, so like counselors and skills, and more like opportunities for young people to kind of interact with people outside the classroom environment. I feel like school puts so much pressure on young people and they don't really have that opportunity to kind of like find themselves outside of school all the time and kind of like experience new things and have their say on like issues they're passionate about.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you on that because I think it's so important that actually young people should be able to go out and meet friends and actually build a foundation of communication and social skills. And I actually think maybe it'd be good if they could actually do maybe like youth clubs. Or would that
Yeah.
be something?
Yeah, no, that would be really great. Yeah, I think there needs to be kind of more opportunities and like even like in the youth clubs they could do like social action projects and stuff and like really make a difference in their communities.
Yes, absolutely. And maybe actually try and do like youth groups in fact and create actually groups that can actually engage young people to have a voice and be listened to.
Yeah, 100%.
That's great. Um, and so what are on advices you would want to say to an MP or like a government minister or like a professional regarding young people's voices?
I think they should just really listen to them and try and take on board what they have to say because we're living through this generation and like we're experiencing these things daily. And I think that they need to take into account that we actually know what we're talking about. Um, and that these issues are going to just affect more and more people. And if things aren't done and things aren't put in place to help support us, things will just get worse, really. So I just say they need to just listen and take on board what we have to say and respect us.
Very much, absolutely. And so also you actually touched on earlier about anti-bullying. Could you elaborate on that more?
Yeah, so when I started my social action, I joined the anti-bullying forum, and as part of that, we kind of created like resources for schools during anti-bullying weeks, both weeks. I was on the forum for like I think it was 2 years. So we helped to kind of like implement like strategies and skills and like support young people. And we created lots of content and stuff to raise awareness. And we spoke to like local MLAs and like the mental health champion here in Northern Ireland to see if they could do things to help us during the week. So that was really beneficial. And then now I'm still kind of involved and they're trying to get funding to launch like projects in schools and like youth club communities for people who have experienced bullying. So I'm gonna help be on the steering group for that, which I'm really excited about.
Wow, and that's incredible. And that's such an incredible achievement.
Yeah, it will be amazing. I really think it will make such a difference to young people in schools and like help them get back into education. Because I think if you've experienced bullying, you're maybe more reluctant to go to school and like things are a lot it can really have a big impact on you, on your mental health and also then consequently physical health. So I think it'll really help young people to like feel more engaged and also feel like they're not alone in bullying and that it happens to people and a lot of young people experience it, not just them, so it helps them to feel less isolated as well.
Absolutely, because I think it's so important that you actually make a difference in that, because actually really very much hard for them with loneliness as well, because it comes to that as well. And I think it's really amazing that you actually are actually doing that. And I think it's excellent. So well done on that.
Thank you.
Um, and is there like any advice you would like to say to a young person who wants to get involved in like because in the social action but doesn't know how to get involved?
Yeah, so I would just say, firstly, just to try something new. It can be really difficult to put yourself out there, and I think there's a lot of charities, even if you just look in your local area for like some local charities and like reach out maybe via email if you're too nervous to kind of call in or phone. And there's always opportunities out there, like even nationally or locally. But I would really recommend you getting involved. It has been such an incredible experience for me. I have met so many amazing new friends and other young people and young activists who really inspire me. And I think having long COVID and stuff has been really difficult. And I think if I haven't had youth social action, I don't know what I'd be doing every day. I think I'd just be sitting there reading. So it's really gives you a sense of purpose. And I think finding something that you're really passionate about and trying to make things better for people really can really warm your heart in a way. I feel like you're actually contributing positively to society. So yeah, no, I would definitely recommend it. 100% been one of the best things I've ever done.
So empowering. I just love when you actually speak about your social action and really because I can see it in because like because I can see it in like talking to you and by your voice, really hearing about how you feel passionate about it. So very much empowering. So it's so incredible. And I also wanted to touch on about the IWIL movement. I think you mentioned about you're part of. And what is the IWIL movement and what does it bring to you?
Yeah, so the I Will movement has really helped me with my social action journey. So it empowers young people to get involved with social action and make differences in their communities. And me and Troy have both been an I Will ambassador since last summer, and it's been incredible. We've had opportunities to like host events and webinars and speak at like I Will Week, which is in November. So everybody keep an eye out for that. We've also judged like awards, spoke on podcasts, created lots of content like articles, blogs, videos, and every month we get the opportunity to connect with one another and just hear updates on the charity, updates on the movement, but also make really incredible friends. And I know joining the I Will movement, I was quite nervous because I knew what it was, but I didn't really know how it would fit into my life and like, but the staff are so incredibly supportive, and so are all the other ambassadors. And we all just really champion each other and support each other. And I think it's such an amazing community to be a part of. So I would highly recommend it. I am not being sponsored.
But it's just such an amazing message about the Hour Movement because it is in like a very amazing organisation that actually gets young people's voices heard and it really helps a young person who wants to do social action and to really connect with other young people and really build a community on youth voice. It's really amazing. So I do recommend it, like Eden said, to take
Yeah,
part in
absolutely.
Ira.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great. I think that they also give you so many like other opportunities to get involved with, like that you're connected to. So like other social action projects that they're aware of, they just send through to them. And there's like as much as what you get out of it is what you put into it. So I think just if you get involved and get stuck in, that's what you'll get out of it. And I think it's such a really beneficial opportunity, and you get to meet so many young people all across the country and make amazing friends. And everybody's just so welcoming and friendly from even the very start. I felt like so like at home in the I Will team. So yeah, no, it's brilliant.
That's great. It's been actually lovely to have you on this podcast to really talk about your social action and to really talk about what you've been up to and to really like empower young people and also because and also professionals and organizations listening to this podcast. And it's actually like very much unempowered me. So thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no worries. Thank you so much for having me.
Please support the podcast by subscribing and rating the podcast. I'd love to hear what you like and what could be better for future episodes. If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram and I will .troy, and also on X I will _Troy. Tune in to next week's episode.